Warning, this video contains flashing lights, bright colors, and quick sporadic movements that may cause dizziness. If you are sensitive to any of the materials I just listed, please click off the video or adjust the settings on your device for your own safety. And an additional disclaimer, the footage used for this video was recorded before the Edge of Fate expansion launched on Tuesday. So if you're confused on why the damage numbers are so astronomically high, or why the UI isn't updated, that is the reason why. And with that out of the way, this is Drake the Wizard, and enjoy the video. And we're back with another Destiny 2 video. I did say in my last video that I did record more matches using different builds. This is another one of those separate matches. This time I used an Arc build, or a Lightning build. That is what the Lightning element is called in this game. But it essentially uses a combination of the Fallen Sunstar exotic and the Lodestar exotic weapon to create a build that allows me to use my abilities all the time. Essentially, basically what it does is that I have a certain ability activated that says whenever I get a kill using any of my other abilities, it creates these lightning trails on the ground that travel to me and give me more ability energy to use all my other abilities with. And essentially what the two exotics I use are for is that Fallen Sunstar makes it where ionic traces, as they're called, the lightning trails, travel faster and give me more energy. And then the Lodestar weapon, you see this laser beam rifle I'm using, that's it. Basically means that whenever I deal lightning damage, it charges it up, and then once it's fully charged, it gives enemies a debuff that allows the lightning trails to be created after I kill them. And it essentially creates a setup where I have my abilities almost all the time. As you can see, I'm getting them very, very often. And basically, my thought process throughout the entirety of this match is, what can I debuff, what can I kill to get all my abilities back, right? And here I'm trying to kill this specific tanky enemy, because in this mission specifically, if he's left alive for too long, he disables all of your abilities to make sure you can't use them, which can make it very difficult. I die here to the Shrieker above, because those can be extremely lethal if you don't pay attention to them. And then even when I revive myself here, I continue to ignore him, but thankfully my teammate is able to get him. I should be better about my not social awareness, my game awareness. Jesus. Not everything has to be about his social anxiety. Stupid me. But anyways, as you can see, I'm trying to spam all of my abilities around, spread these lightning debuffs so that I can get those lightning trails back and use my abilities even more. And then I have a special ability, you just saw me place it. It's essentially a lightning turret that forms a ball and shoots lightning bolts at nearby enemies for a short amount of time. And then it gives me a buff called Bolt Charge. And essentially what Bolt Charge is that you can get up to 10 stacks of it, and then next time you deal ability damage, it calls down a big old lightning strike that deals a bunch of damage. As you see, I flashbanged myself with the turret there. That's because when you first place down the turret, it releases a blinding wave. So if you are using that specific ability, do be aware that placing it down next to yourself will blind you. Metaphorically, or I guess literally, because it gives you the blind debuff. Anyways, as you can see, I'm just trying to kill everything inside. My teammate uses their super there to absolutely wipe out that knight. Jesus Christ, that might as well be a war crime. Now that I think about it, Destiny is all about committing war crimes, because here we are, finding all these alien species, using powers given to us by a literal god that defy the very laws of physics. That's not even a joke, that's canon. Because, it's confirmed that a solar warlock can essentially perform what our sun does in the palm of their hand. Which is absolutely wild to think about. How overpowered all the characters in Destiny are is absolutely crazy. Of course, it's like nothing compared to like Dragon Ball Z or something. I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm pretty sure the stuff that happens in Dragon Ball Z is stuff that can destroy planets. Like, there's literally multiple characters that have wiped out entire species and even destroyed entire planets within seconds. Tell me if I'm wrong about that in the comments, but I'm pretty sure that's what happens in Dragon Ball Z. But anyway, as we get into this room, you may recognize this room for the last video. It's essentially like a wave defense room. We have to clear out these first few enemies and then defend a console for the entire time. And we do so pretty effectively. There is at one point where they do get to the console and disable it, but we're able to re-enable it, and thankfully it keeps the same percentage of completion even if it does get disabled. So if it gets disabled, you can reactivate it and it starts off from where you left off. So that is pretty convenient. I think I would be much more frustrated if it started us all over, because this room can get a bit annoying at times, or it can get pretty difficult because you end up getting swarmed by enemies if you don't pay attention. But then again, if you don't pay attention in this game, anything can kill you, really. You can get killed by a grunt enemy just because you didn't see them to your left or to your right, or somewhere off screen. One big part about this game is having that sense of awareness, you know? Which, like I said, I did fail with earlier with that one enemy that absolutely destroyed me. And we're just trying to kill all these enemies. I use my super ability here, which you saw before, just a big lightning beam. Speaking of Dragon Ball Z from earlier, that's basically a Kamehameha. Like, the amount of inspiration that Destiny gets from other media is crazy. Because not only do we have a Kamehameha, but the other Arc Super is basically just become Palpatine from Star Wars. You know, you have your hands out, you're spraying lightning everywhere, just unlimited power, or something like that. Forgive the impression, I don't know if that was bad or not. But yeah. And then there's the new expansion coming to Destiny that is entirely based off Star Wars. Well, not entirely, it's not set in the same universe, just stealing the aesthetic, I guess. But they did get permission from Lucasfilm to do that, so I won't criticize them too much for that. If they're getting permission from the original creators to take inspiration from their property, then yeah, we shouldn't get too mad about it. I remember there being a lot of controversy about that, because it's like, oh wait, are Destiny and Star Wars connected now? Thankfully that's not the case. Thankfully we won't see like a new Star Wars movie like where Luke Skywalker or something's just like, we have to defeat the Sith Lord or something like that, and then all of a sudden a Guardian from Destiny comes in, throws out a whole bunch of fireballs and absolutely destroys the Imperial Army or something. That would be really jarring to see, and absolutely horrible in theaters. While the idea is pretty neat, the power scaling for Star Wars would basically go through the floor. I know Star Wars has some really crazy feats, but those are mainly displayed in like the comics and like the games and stuff, right? And some of it is not even canon. So like one really broken character in the Star Wars lore is Starkiller, I think. They're in some old Star Wars games, and they do some crazy shit, like send Obi-Wan into like the thrusters of the Millennium Falcon, burning them to death, and then kill his Force Ghost. Like that is a very like crazy thing to see in the Star Wars universe be done to such a beloved character. But thankfully those games are not canon. Thankfully that game is just messing around, just being overpowered for the sake of being overpowered. Although I do believe at some point in the Clone Wars series, which is canon, Anakin Skywalker just straight up like gains complete control over both the light and dark sides of the Force. They, like, take control of two, like, physical beings based off of those sides of the Force. Tell me if I'm wrong about that. Because I haven't seen the entirety of Clone Wars. This entire video has basically become a discussion about Star Wars, huh? I'm not even talking about my gameplay. Holy shit. But what is there to talk about? I'm basically just gonna talk around in circles about how I'm trying to get all my abilities back and stuff like that. And I don't think you want to listen to me ramble about that. So I might as well ramble about this, alright? And that was the end of the video. I know that was pretty short, but that was mainly because I didn't record the boss room, unfortunately. And also, future Destiny videos will probably have just as short, if not shorter, runtimes. And as of Apex Legends content, I am in the process of recording, but I can only get very short clips because of the way that the game is structured. I cannot record a full match without, like, putting my own gameplay at risk. You know, my own competence. So, once I do get a full Apex Legends video out, it'll probably just be a collage of cool clips and cool moments and stuff like that. And thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like, and if you want to see more, click the subscribe button and press the bell icon and enable it to all. I don't post very often. I used to post daily, but I'm trying to take more breaks between posting videos because I do have real life responsibilities, and I'm not necessarily earning anything from this yet. So it's not really worth putting the effort into. That much effort, I mean. But I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.